Now then people, it's Joe, all Leeds TV, and it's your Monday night football talk. I hope you're all doing fine. I hope you've all got over Saturday's dire performance, but you know, it's gone. A lot of yous have commented on the video, so I'm just going to go through that as per. And you know, we've got Friday to look forward to, so you know, I think the positive for me is the fact that we've got a layoff. There's no midweek game. And you know, I genuinely think Bielsa will have him in two, maybe three times a day. They'll be drilled, and I think we'll see a mint performance come Friday. I hope that's the case. If you're wondering what that is up there, you know, the light's bouncing off it. I'll show you in a bit, but it's off the Tasha. I'll get it for you now. It's off the lovely Tash. If you can see that there, side before self. Lovely little photo there. So if that's something you know you're interested in, make sure you go onto Twitter at @WooLeeds. She does some lovely stuff. Can cater to your desires and get you something like that done. So as I say, it'll be in a better place. I've got my flag coming. You know, I'm trying to make it a bit of a better setup for everyone. But yeah, guys, if you have a look at that, that's a lovely little photo there. So make sure you check at @WooLeeds out. She's got hats and stuff as well. So give it a look. But yeah, moving on. So I've got your comments, as I say, on the old pad, and we're just going to go through a few of them. I am considering, I don't know if you'd be interested, guys, if you could let me know in the comments. I'm thinking of maybe doing this live next time around. If that's something you'd be interested in, give me a shout. We could do a bit of a live feed. I can go, you know, you can ask me questions about Friday's game next Monday live, as opposed to just reading from the comments. Let me know in the comments and stuff below. And before I begin, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. So yeah, just jumping into your comments. So there's a lovely one to start us off. I did put it out on my social media, and to be fair, it has done the rounds. I think it's got over like nearly 400 retweets up to now. So you probably might have seen it, but it was from a Wolves fan. Paul 202011. So basically what he goes on to say is, alright guys, Wolves fan here. I saw this game as a potential banana skin before, and I was correct. And you know, I made the claims that we would win 2 or 3, but on the way down, you know, the way the championship is, the way we had Monk, the way, you know, they hadn't won, sorry, but looked pretty well. We were undefeated. It was sort of written, you know. So we can chalk it off as a bad. So you're probably right there, Paul. You know, it was one of them banana skin games. But basically, he goes on to say, he thought Blues were due a win and you were due a loss. Don't be too downbeat though, as they were in a similar position. Wolves were in a similar position last year. They had setbacks at times, but it's your ability to bounce back that will define your ability as a team. We lost certain games, but didn't allow it to affect, and our class showed in the end. Good luck, guys. So thanks very much for the, you know, show of support, and thanks very much, you know, for the, it's wise words, really. That's what I put on my tweet out. At the end of the day, you know, it is just one game. You know, I've seen all sorts. There's some comments in here, and we'll touch on them, that are just ready to throw the toys out of the pram, going off it like, you know, we're going to get relegated or something. Maybe not as bad as that, but some of the comments, you know, and some of the feelings on social media after one loss, they're just a bit too drastic for me. But yeah, look, one game. We're back to it Friday, and it is about our ability to bounce back, Paul. You're right, and I think, you know, Bielsa will have them well drilled, and on Friday, you know, we'll see the fruits of that. So Johnny H. Swain, passing was too slow today. Completely disagree with the odd few fans calling it a disgrace. 100% the passing was too slow. I didn't get a chance to, you know, the post-match reviews raw, and you don't get time to reflect sometimes, and on time to reflect. I think it was Pedersen there, left back. The amount of balls he intercepted was unreal. I remember saying to my pal Sean, who I go to the football with, their left backs on it, and they did just seem to read it. We had no snap in the passes. They were able to intercept at will. So you are right there. They did put in 100% effort. He goes on to say it was just a bad day at the office. 100%. At the end of the day, we had like 79% possession. It was just a bad day at the office. Let's not have a meltdown just yet and go again, hoping we put 6 past Sheff Wednesday. Fingers crossed, mate. I don't think it'll be that wide, but you know, I do fancy us for a win at Hillsborough. PM photo and video says, don't worry mate, Birmingham have actually been playing very well. They have just been incredibly unlucky. This was actually one of Birmingham's poorer games, yet they won. Yeah, I mean, like I said, possession wise, they they didn't do much. I just think it was 2 goalkeeping mistakes for me, especially from Bailey. You know, the first and both of them. But we've all analysed that. We've all had as thoughts on Bailey's performance. It wasn't great. But yeah, Birmingham weren't that good either, you're right. I just think they won the battles in defence, and they gave our 2 centre-backs a torrid time, you know. Che Adams and Jukovic gave them a bit of a ride, especially when we've been up against, you know, Borough's defence, for example. Birmingham did really well in that respect. Raul Jorge Orellano Vargas, so one of our Chile fans, he goes on to say, please be confident. Marcelo is a huge coach, measured and humble when he wins, but calm and serene when he loses. A leader. Greetings from Chile, marching on together. Thank you very much for that, mate. You know, I think, you know, one of the lads who's, you know, Conor Ramblings said he looked like I was about to commit suicide when I did my post-match review. But it does, man. It gets me down when Leeds lose. But, you know, in hindsight, you look back and you are right, you know, Marcelo knows what he's doing. That's why it makes me laugh when some of these pundits on Sky start mentioning the turnaround of games, or they mention fatigue, or getting players in for 2 or 3 sessions. Like, the guy's a legend of the game. He's managed a hell of a lot of football. So I don't think we need Keith Andrews telling Marcelo how to get on, or Steve Evans for that matter. So, you know, I agree with you, Raul. You know, he's measured and humble, and he'll get us firing. Going on, so click boom says, frustrating game for a number of reasons, and I think it says a lot that fans are so upset by today's loss. We've set standards so high for ourselves that our first loss in 9 feels devastating, and that's what it did feel, you know. I think when I said it so in the Bielsa documentary, I sort of jinxed us, and I know one of the lads, Binky from Talking Shut, said so today. At the end of the day, you know, I looked at the fixtures, upcoming games, and the only one really that I thought, might be a struggle was West Brom. So, you know, it just shows you've done it the Championship. And we, you know, it was devastating that we did lose, you're right. He goes on to say, not going to throw players under the bus on the basis of one bad performance, but I do think it's a reality check that the fans and the players probably needed. And I said so to my friend Sean, it brings us back down to earth with a bump. And you're right, we probably need that. And I do think there was a bit of complacency setting in with the players, especially the first half performance against Birmingham. It was just not good enough. It goes on to say there are no easy games in the Championship, and we needed this lesson to show us that we, A, need to find ways to pick apart defensively strong sides like Borough or Birmingham, and B, hit the high standards that we've set in terms of passing creativity, etc. I'm sure Bielsa will take this opportunity to learn from this game and hopefully make us stronger in the long run. Still confident that we'll do well this year, but I wouldn't be too precious about staying first in the table at this early stage of the season. Position only matters in May. Marching on together. Good analysis, click, boom. You know, a lot of what you said there is bang on the money. I do think come Christmas, if we're still there or thereabouts, then we need to be definitely saying, right, let's stay there. Christmas is a big marker to you know, Christmas, January time for where we are at in the table. Defcon 22 comments a lot, so thanks again for your support, mate. He goes on to say, we had 70% possession but lost 2-1. In other games, Bailey has made great saves, which makes you wonder how they went 1 up. Fact is, 9 games played, 1 loss. Got to make sure Rock doesn't set in. Like last season, big game Friday night just got bigger. He goes on to say, I've had some thoughts, as you, Joe, and referees do. We just get the incompetent ones, or is there some agenda against us? Worrying. Like last season, 7 games unbeaten, then it all went to pot. This term, a great start to the season, then a below-par performance and a dodgy ref. Great video, mate. March on together. Thanks very much, Defcon. You know, there is a lot to be said about this agenda. I think sometimes, you know, it's too much of a coincidence for me. That's why we sing the Football League's corrupt. It is what it is. But like you say, at the end of the day, if we'd have said 9 games played with 1 loss, we'd have snapped their hands off. It just feels raw because, you know, it was Birmingham, it was Gary Monk, and we were on such a good run. And to lose in the way we did, listen, if we're smashing it and they get a last gas winner, it probably feels worse, but you can take it on the chin. I just think the performance let us down big time. Terry O'Hearn says, well done, Joe. Not easy to do a video after a loss like that. Very disappointing. Poor performance, reality check. We didn't play poor. Ref definitely one of those days, but still top, and teams around us beating each other, marching on together. You're right, mate. I watched. Do you know what's funny? I was so happy that teams around us lost, because I said in my post-match thoughts, at the end of the day, if the teams around us would have won and gone top, you can almost certain that they'd be there battering us. I even seen Borough Fan TV had put out a tweet with a bus with the wheels falling off and Leeds United on the side after one loss, and we're still top of the league. And they still wanted to come out and do that, you know, after they had a dire performance by all accounts against Swansea. Putting 5 at the back when you're playing at home against Swansea is not great, but it is what it is. Let's not go on to them. But I just think them sort of teams, if we do start to falter, we will get a lot of backlash, because naturally everyone hates Leeds. Why? Because they aren't Leeds. That's the fact of it. Dr. Frost comments a lot. Thanks very much, mate. He says the first goal was a clear mistake by Bailey Peacock-Farrell. He decided for the far corner without any need or reason. The second was unfortunate and probably an inch from Bailey Peacock-Farrell's fingers. First was a clear mistake for me. Still should save the second, regardless of, you know, how close he was. It was a bit of a P-roller, as the Millwall fans said before, when Harrison scored their the equaliser when we were down there. I think if you look at the 2 goals, Harrison was class. Che Adams was definite P-roll, and it shouldn't have gone in. John Rees says, don't worry, you don't win or lose league in 9 games. It's over 46 games. Very true, mate. Mickey Brum, so Birmingham fan, says, all the message boards before the game were predicting 5 or 6-0 to Leeds. Remember, this is the Championship and anything can happen. Bad luck, another game comes quickly. 5 or 6, I didn't see them message boards. I think that's a bit crazy. Yes, I did say 2 or 3. But listen, it is what it is. People get carried away. Miserable CUNT says, Leeds are a quality side, but we've been overdue a win, so bonjour, and remember, keep right on. So that's a Brum fan. Sean K says, thanks, mate. Enjoy your inputs on Leeds. It's just a shame they didn't make it into October without a loss. I've been a bit worried that the run in the league so far isn't showing the real Leeds, since they pretty much got dumped out of the 2 cups. We've only been in the 1 cup, mate. I'll be more confident if the form to date lasts until Christmas. I have been a supporter since the days of Curry, Cherry, Jordan and McQueen, just after the glory days. I now live in Australia and haven't seen the team in person since the dark days of the old Division 2 in about 83-84 at Carlisle United. For guys like you who go to every match, I hope this season makes you happy and proud, and next year you get to see Premier League football. Thanks. Well, thanks very much for your support, Sean. You know, it's good to know you're still out in Australia, you're still following the lads. And I do think it is our time, mate. You know, I know it's early days, and I jinxed us after the Bielsa documentary, and we went on to lose at Birmingham. But you know, I do think it is our time. Moving on, so I've had quite a lot today. I should really, you know, pick the best, but I like to give everyone a shout out. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm just grateful for everyone's support. CJ Wood says, disappointed that the run comes to an end, and in the fashion of today's performance. I agree with you about Alioski. He tries his best, but just not quite there for me. I like the look of Roberts and think he'd be more effective in a number 10 role playing off Roof or Bamford. I don't think you've any chance of that, especially when we've got Samu Saiz and Izzy Brown to come into the picture. It will be interesting to see, though, once Roof and Bamford are fit, what happens with Roberts, because for me, he was one of the shining lights on Saturday, and I forgot to mention it in my post thought. So was Stuart Dallas. Stuart Dallas really came on and provided some impetus when he did come on, and I'm gutted that I didn't give him a shout out. But well done, Stewie Dallas. But yeah, I wouldn't say Roberts plays number 10. If anything, he gets a venture out wide when Roof or Bamford are there. Personally, but who knows? You know, Bielsa's the man. He goes on to say, I think we could be even stronger with a back three of Berardi, Jansen and Cooper, with Douglas and Ayling at wing back, roll on Friday night matching on together. I think we did go to a back three in that game against Birmingham, when we did look a lot stronger in that 3-3-1-3 formation. It did really work, so it is food for thought, and I think Bielsa did say he was gutted that he didn't play that from the start, because by the time he changed it and we started to get on top, we were already 2 behind. So it is worth noting that when we did play 3 at the back, it did work. Thomas O'Flattery says, you said the man you called a snake, i.e. Gary Monk, was going to return with a loss. What happened was Swan. Well, he beat us, didn't he? There you go. I should have kept my mouth shut. Gary Warman Buckland says, mate, I was there and Calvin Phillips did not seem to be able to pass to a white shirt. We seemed slow, which has not been the case this season. Alioski, apart from the goal, was invisible, and no attacker should be given a clear shot at goal when they run across the goal. There should be a blocker. It wasn't as though they were brilliant. 2 attacks, 2 goals. Shit apart from that. You've got a point, mate. They weren't great. The ref was shocking, but abusing him like a large part of our support did will not win us any friends. Listen, I get passionate. I'm passionate sat here now in my garage at the game. I was screaming at him because it was a bit of a disgrace and it made it all about him. But ultimately, it was bad for both teams. Like I said in my post-match, and I know Ramblings has as well. Whenever there was 50-50s, whoever came out with the ball, he gave him. But it was shocking and rightly deserved of vitriol from the crowd, in my opinion. You know, I pay my money and I don't want to get cheated like that. I'm not saying they cheated us directly, but it is so frustrating. So, you know, I think sometimes they deserve it, mate. It is what it is, and you know, if you see man to man, would you probably say it? No, but we just, you know, sometimes football fans get carried away. But I think the abuse he received, it wasn't personal. It's just your normal sort of crap. You know, you're not fit to referee. The referees, whatever. You know, I think he deserved that in that game, rightly so. He goes on. Lastly, I hope Monkey only paid his defenders half pay as they spent half the match lying on the pitch. Nearly peed myself when Alioski knocked the biggest bugger over. Great vlogs, mate. Match on together. Thanks for the support, mate. Yeah, it was a bit of a joke, especially when they were rolling on the floor and then they'd go off and the ref would wave them on and they were sprinting onto the pitch. Elliot Roper, good channel, big Leeds fan. Only get to see them live a few times a year though. I only saw the highlights for yesterday's, but in my opinion, Bailey Peacock-Farrell has to do better with both goals. 100% agree with you there, Elliot. But all those Leeds fans are saying at the moment, we're not getting carried away with winning, so let's not get deflated with a loss, as we were always going to lose at some point. Let's see how we bounce back against Wednesday on Friday. Big game. Hopefully Pablo, Roof and Berry come back soon. In Bielsa we trust 100%. I don't think we'll see any new faces come Friday. We might see Berardi, I think, possibly, but will he get back in? Will he get straight back in? I'm not too sure. Although for me, I don't think Janssen had a great game on Saturday, and Berardi moves the ball a lot quicker than what Janssen do. Janssen sometimes takes a few too extra touches, head up, looking for that pass. Whereas the other guys seem to move it a little bit quicker, so Berardi might get straight back in. We don't know. Lewis Bradshaw, we have played much better in majority of our games this season and came away with a point or less. The side knew if we come to get on the ball and play, we would have been beaten comfortably. We had to make it hard for you. If I was you, I'd be looking at how you didn't target League Camp. He played decent yesterday, but he's been very near it and has made multiple mistakes this season. I've seen that in the Brummy Joe preview with Ramblings. If you didn't get a chance to watch that, make sure you do. A lot was made of League Camp, but he did make a very good save for Dallas at the end. And he didn't have a poor game really. But maybe we should have been peppering his goal a little bit more. That was missing on Saturday. Juan P says it's difficult to play without a strong striker. Personally, from my point of view, Roberts is not a strong striker. Even he scored twice last game. He played bad against Millwall. He also played bad first half against Preston. And today again, it's very difficult to play without Roof, Bamford and Hernandez. I wish Roof recovered soon, matching on together. Don't agree with you, Juan. Especially when you're saying let's play without Bamford, who we've not seen much of out of the two. Roberts has offered more and has proved that. And I don't think he had a bad game against Millwall. It was more he didn't take his chances. His movement and creating was very good. Against Preston, he scored 2 great goals. Against Birmingham at the weekend, he was the one player that was trying to do something with the ball. He's very good technically. I wouldn't say he's bad at... That's my opinion though. Football's full of opinions, that's what I mean. So you're entitled to yours, Juan. I just don't agree with it in this case. Doma says, disagree regarding Janssen and Cooper. Both played well in my opinion. Ayling didn't have a good game, lost the ball a few times and played many aimless long balls. Douglas should have done better with his attempt to tackle for their second goal. Yeah, Douglas, a lot has been made about his defensive work, and a lot of Wolves fans said that as well. Well, I'm yet I still think he's a decent defender in my opinion. I don't think Janssen or Cooper had a great game, but again, it's a football. It's everyone has their opinions, and that's why we love it. And I thought Ayling was alright, you know. I think Janssen put him in trouble a few times, if I'm being honest, because of that. And maybe that's the way you see it. You see Ayling's giving the ball away, whereas I see Janssen's the one that's put him into trouble, you know. And that's why it's, you know, the game, it's full of opinions, isn't it? This one I took real umbrage with, and I guess he's a Leeds fan. He says, this is Ian Clark, he says, being realistic, West Brom will go top within the next fortnight and they'll stay there until May. Don't think you can say that. He says Swansea and Derby will compete for the second spot. Don't agree. You know, Derby were terrible against us. They're so inconsistent. There's not a chance for me that they'll be competing with the top two. Swansea, again, not great. You know, we had a lot of changes against their side. We let them into the game. If they come to Welland Road, we beat them. That's my opinion. They failed to score at the Borough. I can't see how them two can be competing for the second spot. I like West Brom's squad, but again, I don't think you can call them winners yet. And he says we're in a battle for Borough, Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday, Forest and Villa for a playoff spot. You know, Villa will be there or thereabouts. I don't think Sheffield Wednesday will. Sheffield United will probably drop off. I think Brentford will be up there. Borough, for me, will be fighting for the top two just because they do so well defensively. You know, not many teams are going to beat them. But again, you're entitled to your opinion. But I think to just after one game, then say, oh, do you know what, we're going to finish 6. We're going to be fighting for 6 because we've lost one game. We could go on another 3-4 game winning streak. You can't say that after one game. So I did take umbrage when I read that. I was like, no, I don't agree, mate. And I think you're getting carried away with just the one loss. Do you know what I mean? And that's not meant in any way to be, you know, out of order towards you. I just don't agree with your point, Ian. Stephen says, think keeper was at fault for both goals, but everyone has an off day. Saw extended highlights as on the halls, but I think we did enough to get something. But not always the case. Makes Owls game a big one now. 100% I agree. One people goes on to say Alioski should be also replaced, and I agree. Too inconsistent, doesn't do enough through the games, and he's offside more times than he is onside. It is getting so frustrating, and I think Hernandez comes back in, then you play Harrison on the left wing and Hernandez on the right, or vice versa. But yeah, you are right, he's the weak link for me. And if January was to be tomorrow, I'd be looking at strengthening that position. George Hodgkins, really like Alioski, but it's hard to defend him after that game. Really hope Bielsa has a word with him. Again, yeah, you're right, you can't defend him after that. It was dire at times. Claire Wildwood, one of her chief supporters, thank you, love, says, obviously Leeds weren't going to go undefeated, but I would have preferred that they lose away to a good team. Yeah, I agree. Better opposition, probably. Then you can take it a little bit more. But I think Birmingham are good opposition. It's just the results, or sorry, the league position and the points don't reflect how well they've played. Matt Roberts says, I thought Dallas had a great game when he came on, never stopped running and seemed to link play well. And that's what you'll always get with Dallas. He never will stop running. He's a top pro, and I really like him, and you are right, he was class when he came on. Philip Millen was a very bad day for us, never went right from the off, but not making excuses, but the Birmingham match report at the end said, and they had done it what a brave performance. I'm sorry, but they scored 2 very sloppy goals that the keeper should have saved, but he certainly didn't get any help from the defence. There's a lot to be said about that. KP give the ball away for the first, for example, but again, it comes back to their defenders intercepting and our loose passing. They then just rolled around for the rest of the game. He says, going down for anything, killing time. And if that's bravery, we may as well just pick up the goalposts and go home. You've got a point, mate. If Birmingham are coming out and saying they had a great, brave performance, it wasn't that. You are right, it was a joke. When they went in front, some of the tactics they did employ. But that's up to the ref to sort that out. Give out cards, have a word with a manager, be a bit more strong. Don't just be saying, right, I'll add on 8 minutes at the end. And then lastly, Dr. Frost again. The big question is, was this defeat a sign of our true colours? Let's not get too ahead. Or is it a fluke score performance? I just can't convince myself that we aren't going to get a rude awakening, at least in comparison to the first 7 games. It was coming, I felt, but today we had bad luck, a bad ref, fluke goal, 2 against us, whatever. Sheffield Wednesday, Hull, Brentford next for me. 5 points are the minimum. Anything less than that would be a bit concerning. And let's face it, we could end with 1 or 2 points if it comes to the worst. Yeah, big games, definite big games, especially Brentford's early form. Sheffield Wednesday after a good result at Villa, and then we've got Hull wedged in between them. 5 points at the minimum, yeah. I think 6. You know, I think we need 6 from that. I think we beat Sheffield Wednesday on Friday. Then we're away at Hull. Last year I went there away to their ground and we were absolutely shocking. Ronnie Vieira had a nightmare that game. And then home at Brentford, 12:30, massive crowd. I think we pick up points there as well. So yeah, six from, let's go all 9. Let's go all 9. I'm an optimist. Let's do it. Let's go all 9. Thanks very much for your support, guys. As I say, it's quite a long one, that 25, 30 minutes long. Not normally as long, but it just shows the continued support we're getting. Like I said, if you'd be interested, you know, we can set a time and let's do a bit of a live feed. But I only want to do it if I'm going to get people involved. You know what I mean? I don't want to be sat there with just 1 or 2 people, just being honest. So let's see if you do want to do something like that. Let's get it in the comments and we'll set up in a forum. But thanks very much for listening again, guys. It's always a pleasure. I love replying to the comments. You know, we'll have some stuff midweek. You know, you've got Rambling South Stand synopsis. You'll have mine, my pre-match review for Chef Wednesday after the press conference has been done, been and gone. Oscar's away on holiday, but he's still going to send us a video from sunny Mallorca. So, you know, you'll have something nice to look at. Maybe you'll wear shades like the Ramblings. I don't know if you'll be able to pull it off. Ramblings is pretty cool, to be fair. But yeah, just make sure you keep tuning in and we'll see you on Friday, and hopefully you get a post-match review where we've absolutely annihilated the Owls. Fingers crossed, Yorkshire Derby, big game. And just to shout out again, at Woo Leeds, make sure you check it out, guys. Lovely little frame. She does hats as well. You know, she hasn't paid me for that. She's just the gaffer, so I'm giving her a bit of a plug. No, but thanks again, guys. Love yous all, man. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.